Good
Good
morning.
We are Tony.
And Libby May, and we have been given the opportunity to bring you our thought for today on Friday, July the 31st. Our reading this morning is Luke chapter 22, verses 63 to 71. So let's start with that. The men who were guarding Jesus began mocking and beating him. They blindfolded him and demanded, "Prophesy, who hit you?" And they said many other insulting things to him. At daybreak, the council of the elders of the people, both the chief priests and the teachers of the law, met together, and Jesus was led before them. "If you are the Christ," they said, "tell us." Jesus answered, "If I tell you, you will not believe me, and if I asked you, you would not answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the mighty God." They all asked, "Are you the Son of God then?" He replied, "You are right in saying I am." Then they said, "Why do we need any more testimony? We have heard it from his own lips." Jesus uses the phrase "Son of Man" in reference to himself, but the Jewish leaders respond by asking, "Are you the Son of God then?" They made the connection because they knew the Psalms and Daniel off by heart. They knew that the Son of Man, Messiah, is God's Son in a unique way that no one else is. So Jesus turns the tables on them. Suddenly, he is the one who is sitting in judgment on them. His challenge to them required a response. It seems to us his challenge requires no less a response from us today.
There's a story about an Archbishop of Paris who was preaching to a great congregation. He told them about 3 worldly, godless young men who wandered into the cathedral. 2 of them bet the 3rd that he wouldn't dare to enter the confessional and make a phony confession to the priest. The priest, however, soon realized what was happening. So when the pretending penitent had finished, he said, "To every confession, there is a penance. You see that cross over there? Go to it, kneel down, and repeat 3 times as you look into the face of the crucified Christ. You did all this for me, and I couldn't care less." The young man emerged triumphant from the confessional box to collect on his bet. But when he told his friends what the priest had said, they said, "Oh no, first complete the penance, then we'll pay you." He walked slowly towards the cross, knelt down, looked up and began. "You did all this for me, and I..." He could get no further. Tears ran down his face. His heart was broken by his rejection of Christ's suffering and sacrifice. There and then his old life ended, and his new life began. The Archbishop concluded his sermon, "I was that young man." The account of Christ's suffering is told for us in graphic detail in the Gospels. So when we come to his table, which is the picture he gave us all to remember him by, and say to him in our hearts, "You did all this for me," and we really need to complete the sentence. God gave his Son into the hands of angry, blaspheming sinners on our behalf. And surely this requires a pretty robust response. You may have come across the BBC advertising their BBC bite-sized children's education material presented on television, specifically for children during the COVID pandemic. Their Christian Church in Action material for school children covers both the persecuted and the serving church. Despite the persecution of the Christian church at home and around the world, the church, BBC Bite Size explains, is known for its love for the most needy people and communities, because it is following Christ's example and his teaching.
So, we wondered what lessons we could take away from Jesus' testimony regarding our own response. Perhaps the challenge to us is simply to be known as Christians who, despite others' attempts to marginalise our faith, love each other and love God, and who, because of that love, are known for serving the most vulnerable people and communities that we encounter. We feel Christ's suffering and sacrifice requires no less a response.
We wish you all a very blessed day.